Okay, hey guys, it's Deborah. I'm out in the backyard again with my kids, so it may be noisy, but I'm gonna try my best here. Yeah, what do you see on your screen? It is the big X over the United States. It's the eclipse. There was the one in 2017, and the one is coming in 2024, which makes a big X across the states. And I've heard before that eclipses are warnings for the Gentiles, and blood moons are warning for the Jews. I'm not sure where that's from, but anyway, I know this is a warning, that's for sure. It's, signs in the sun, moon, stars in the sky. We're supposed to be looking at these signs. And it's a massive X over the United States. So, I wanted to talk about that. If you've been following my channel, you know I've been talking about this time frame, 2017 to 2019, because the Lord had shown me through a parable when I asked about where are we in the end times, the parable of the vine dresser, and it's in Luke 13 here. And basically, when I was praying about it, because I had a dream about 2021 and the rapture, and then I said, but I thought it was 2020, Lord. And then all of a sudden, I realized this parable, which I don't know what else it could possibly mean, but he showed me this right at the time when I asked, and he said that basically it says there, then said unto the dresser of his vineyard, behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this fig tree, the fig tree is Israel, and find none. Cut it down, why cumbereth it to the ground? And he answered, said unto him, Lord, let it alone this year, this one more year, also till I should dig around it and dung it, and if it bears fruit, well, then well, and if not, then after that thou shalt cut it down. So it was just out of nowhere. Like, I was asking for 2021, and he said 2017 to 29. I believe I heard 2017 to 2020, is a 3-year, like a special time frame. And then 2020 to 21 is that one more year. So see how it said 3 years? The fig tree, he's going to dig around it. And 2020 to 2021 is that one more year. Give it one more year. So if anybody else has ideas about what this parable is talking about, feel free to put a comment about that. I mean, obviously it has meaning in itself, but it just came into my head when I was praying about that 2021 time period, the season. But I want to talk a bit about the Psalms and how it fits in with this big X over the United States. Okay, so there's that book, Hidden Prophecies in the Psalms. Pastor Sandy has talked about that a lot. Other people have talked about it, kind of looking at, is it real, kind of testing it. I haven't gone through every Psalm, but I can tell you some of them line up pretty good. So let's see if this crosses and makes the X in 2024. What is Psalm 124? Because 120 is 2020. So Psalm 124 should line up with that big X. So it says, our soul has escaped as a bird from the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken and we have escaped. So I'll read a little more onto it, but 124 is talking about Israel, the Jews, escaping out of the fowler's snare. Okay, so remember, we're trying to see, is this big X over the states somehow tied into what could happen in 2024, if this all lines up with prophecy in the Psalms, which starts at, right now we'd be in Psalm 120 because it's year 2020. So anyway, continuing on to Psalm 124 verse 4, it says, then the water would have engulfed us, the torrent would have swept over us. So it's talking about a flood taking over them. So in 2024, is it possible there would be a big flood that takes over the Jews and they escape out of the fowler's snare in 2024? Does this line up? Does it match up? It matches up like crazy. So 124 would be 2024. I'm sorry if you don't fully understand, but I've done videos on this for a while. So yeah, anyway, basically, in Revelation, in the book of Revelation, what happens? The dragon, after the man-child's caught up, which is the church, he turns his attention to the woman, and he puts a flood out after her. I don't have the verse on me, but he puts a flood out after her, which is Israel, and she escapes. That would be 2024. Think about it. If in 2021 is the rapture, or even 2020, it could still possibly work, but 2021, let's say, is the rapture, then 3.5 years in, you could be in 2024 and there is a big flood. We don't know if it's a literal flood or what, but it says that the dragon comes after the woman and sends a flood to try to destroy her, but she escapes, okay? So that fits perfectly with Psalm 124 that literally just said, you rescued us out of the flood and out of the fowler's snare. They escaped from the fowler's snare. So how does this all line up and tie in with the United States having that big X over it by 2024? Well, it relates to me to Ezekiel and the Gog and Magog war, because here it says in Ezekiel 38:11, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of the unwalled villages. I will go to them. Now, this is Israel's enemies saying this. I will go to them that are at rest. That's Israel, that dwell safely, all of them, dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. Now, if Gog Magog happens halfway through the tribulation, and people are saying, oh, we're going to go and, destroy Israel, and they're sitting all peacefully, well, where is the United States who always helps them? And it just kind of lines up. It's starting to line up that they have a big X over them. What if they're taken out completely in 2024? So put it all together. Psalm 124 talks about the Jews escaping a flood. Revelation talks about the Antichrist halfway through the tribulation, which would be 2024 if 2021 is the right date. It all lines up. Ezekiel, Revelation, and Psalms. They're all together. And then they match this X. I hope I'm saying it right. You might have to look at this again. But basically, this X over the United States, I believe that could be the destruction date. And I just said it matches up with Psalm 124, which says that's when Israel flees because the dragon is putting a flood out after it. Wouldn't that be perfect timing? Because just before that, they were living peacefully under the Antichrist's reign. And the first 3.5 years, they lived peacefully in unwalled villages. And when they do that, the enemies come and attack them, and there's nobody to help them, including the United States, who has a big X over them during that time period. So they could be destroyed at that time period. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. I wanted to just go back to Psalm 120 because it says, deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. That's how it starts. And what are we living with right now in year 2020? Lies, pure lies. You don't know what to believe. You have no idea who to believe. And that's what Psalm 120 is all about, living in lies. And if you read the whole Psalm, it's like super short. And this is basically what it says. It's just that we're living with lies. That lines up. And then this is Psalm 121 when I was talking about feeling like it relates to the rapture. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. What does it say? Look up, for your redemption draws nigh. When you hear, Jesus talking about the rapture in the end times, he says, look up, for your redemption draws nigh. It says, I lift up my eyes to the mountain where my help comes from. Your redemption, it draws nigh. So that's one reason why I thought Psalm 121 speaks of the rapture and 120 speaks of living in lies. And then this is the end of 121. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Okay, so that's the part that really stuck for me, where he said, lift up your eyes where from where your help comes from. And then it says, he will watch over you both now and forevermore. So basically from that point on, 121, so it could be 2021, he is going to keep you from harm and watch over you forevermore. Like just the fact that it says forevermore, it just sounds like forevermore. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because when I was thinking about that big X on the United States, I just thought, you know what? That lines up perfectly with this whole 3 years, dig around the fig tree for 3 years, and then give it 1 more year. And then if it doesn't bear fruit, then cut it down. And the whole Psalm 121 that he will take care of you forevermore. And then, like I said, in the middle of it all in 2024, it lines up with Psalm 124, which says a flood came after them. And that lines up with that big X because in Ezekiel 38, it says they get attacked, but nobody's there to help them. So would it make sense that in 2024, there's no one there to help them and the United States is not there to help them because they have a big X over them? So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. There's kind of like several different things there, but like I said, I'm looking at it for different reasons. 2021, not just because of, you know, the prophecy in the Psalms that it lines up, but it's also because, like I said, when I prayed about it, I just heard the parable of that vine dresser, and that he said the 3 years and the one more year. And there's other things. I talked about the year 5781 and some meanings to that and stuff like that. But anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. And I probably have more stuff coming like soon, because I keep having things that come to mind. But I understand other people are talking about different time frames and looking at different dates and stuff like that, and whatever. Like, I don't have a date, but just the season. So, you know, no offense to anybody. This is just what I feel like I'm being shown. So I'm sharing it with you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope it blessed you, and I'll talk to you again soon. God bless and shalom.